If you're facing challenges with the criminal justice system, the time is now to start preparing, and prisonprofessors.org offers an abundance of free resources that will help you. My name is Michael Santos, and I am the founder of prisonprofessors.org, and everything we do is designed to help people put themselves on the pathway for the best possible outcome. We are a nonprofit. 100% everything on prisonprofessors.org is free, but we really believe if you're facing a challenge with any form of the criminal justice system, you really got to start preparing very early for the complications that await you, because there are many complications, and those complications have lifelong implications. So if you look at our website, you will see, you can scroll anywhere around the website that you want, and you will see that everything is free. But what I really want to do is help people who are under an investigation or are preparing for sentencing, or who may be going into the criminal justice system, and they want to find out, where can I get some resources to help me make better decisions? The earlier you start preparing, the better off you are going to be. So the first place I'm going to show you where to go is that if you visit the website, is you go up to the top under programs, and you will see under programs, we have a section there that says free lessons. So the free lessons are where you could find information to help you at various stages. And some of the lessons are kind of standalone lessons that just take time for you to read and prompt you to think. And we give you different stages of the journey, whether you're under an investigation, whether you're facing charges or in a plea agreement, whether you are in a pre-sentence phase, whether you want to learn about programs in the Bureau of Prisons, you want to learn about day-to-day prison life. If you just open these, like if I open under investigation, you're going to see some pretty simple lessons. But again, these are really just essential reading to give you some level of familiarity with what's coming. But what you really want to do is you want to understand, you want to scroll down a little farther and look at these different courses. Primarily, we could start with the sentencing narrative, because if you have been convicted in a court of law and you are going to have to face a judge for sentencing, you're going to want to help the judge understand who you are, what you've learned from this experience, how you identify with victims, what steps you are taking to make things right. And this is a rather comprehensive course that encourages you to use artificial intelligence, but also helps you with prompts so that you could kind of work through the lesson. So if I click open the course, you can see I go into a section where there's going to be a video that kind of explains what you can expect in the course. It will tell you what participants do in the course and how going through the course is going to help you interact more effectively with your defense attorney. Under the course details, that's where you're going to learn what the course is going to be about and how you could use it to help yourself. Then you will see on this particular course, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 individual lessons, including samples of what does a good sentence look like, a sentencing narrative look like. You could also click on any one of the boxes and you will see, hey, maybe you want to learn this by listening while you're driving or while you're exercising, and that's completely fine. If that's what you want to do, just click the audio version at the beginning of the course or open the course, and you will see me kind of talking on a video where I'm not necessarily reading the course, but providing you with some commentary that supplements the course so that you're understanding, well, what is a sentencing narrative and what kind of impact is it going to have on me upon release? I'm going to learn about the key takeaways of, like, how long should this be? I'll provide you with some self-directed exercises that get you thinking a little bit about how you are going to craft your narrative. And then you just click the bottom button and go to the next lesson. And the next lesson is going to help you understand, well, what's the difference if I plead guilty or I go to trial and a jury convicts me? Because you want to make sure that the sentencing narrative that you create is consistent with preserving your rights on appeal if that's something that you're inclined to do. Most people plead guilty. I did not plead guilty. I made some really bad decisions because I didn't understand what an effective mitigation strategy looks like. But this free course is going to give you that kind of insight to help you make better decisions as you go forward. And then again, just go to the next course. And the next course is going to give you some information on the structure of what does a sentencing narrative look like. And this is more art than science, but I'm going to share with you lessons that I learned from interacting with thousands of people and with federal judges and with U.S. attorneys and in all of my work in advocacy. Basically, I'm going to suggest that you write an introduction of 400 to 600 words. And in that introduction, you just kind of want to help the judge understand, well, why are you investing so much time to write this document? I've written about this a lot on our various courses, but the judge is probably has worked on both sides as a defense attorney and a U.S. attorney, and he is going to have a lot of backstory on what a defense attorney is going to say, what a U.S. attorney is going to say. What he really has heard less frequently is what the person standing before him is going to say. And so we want you to understand to start your sentencing narrative with an introduction of 400 to 600 words. Then we want to get into the background. And the background is a little bit more substantive. I recommend 1,200 to 1,700 words. You want the judge to see that you've genuinely put a lot of time into this to help the judge get to know the trajectory of your life story. Who influenced you? What did you learn from this process? In what ways did the influences around you put you on this pathway through school, through your career, eventually through the behavior that has led you to stand before a court for sentencing? Then you're going to want to talk about, in the next section, the influences leading specifically to the crime. Very few people set out in their life to say, I want to be a criminal. So you want to help the judge understand you. So your narrative should be working to humanize you and help other people see you as a relatable person. In the next section, you want to make that about 400 to 600 words, lessons learned. Then you want to step into the steps that you've been taking to reconciliation and then your conclusion. So to recap, introduction, 400 to 600 words, background, 1,200 to 1,700 words, influences leading to the crime, 400 to 600 words, lessons learned, 400 to 600 words, steps to reconciliation, 400 to 600 words, and the conclusion, 200 to 400 words. So you end up with a targeted document of somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 words. And I really encourage you to use artificial intelligence to help you with this path. The lesson itself will provide you with some prompts. It will give you some ideas on how to develop a knowledge base so that you could teach artificial intelligence how to assist you in building the project that you need, because you need to be thinking continuously about this very unfortunate situation that you're in right now. And in the next module, the next course, we're going to get into the knowledge base and the prompts, where once again I give you kind of the parameters of how much you should write. And then it helps you start thinking about the setup and teaching artificial intelligence what its role is, what its objective is, what the global rules are, the target sections for each area, the process, and then you want to instruct it on what to do. The art of building a great sentencing narrative is going to really depend upon the prompts that you use with artificial intelligence. And then, of course, it's going to require a lot of editing, and because nobody's going to know your story but you. And you want to use this course to kind of help you go through a quality checklist and make sure that this project is going to advance you as a candidate for the best possible outcome. And so each lesson includes these types of assessment questions and so on and so forth. And then we go and then we do this really for each section. For the background section, what belongs in a background? How do you hold yourself accountable without minimizing what's going on? How to work with AI effectively? And how do you do a quality checklist? right? Then we give you instructions on every section, including the influences section, the next section, which is lessons learned. So each of these has a rather comprehensive description of how to structure your narrative in such a way that's showing the judge that you're significantly more than what the prosecutor may want to help the judge see, right? The prosecutor is looking for a specific outcome, and he's going to work hard to get that outcome. The question you need to be meditating on is, what are you going to do to advance yourself as a candidate for the best possible outcome? And so then you're going to have a lesson summary where you're showing the judge that you're thinking beyond sentencing. And then, of course, we will provide you with some full sample narratives that you could see and compare what other people have done and have worked out effectively, and compare and contrast that with what you've done, whether you've pleaded guilty or whether you have gone to trial. So we provide you with all these different types of examples with hopes that it's going to help you work toward the best possible outcome. But sentencing narratives are only one part of the preparation. That's what you're saying. Next, you're going to want to go through our course on preparing effective character reference letters, a campaign for character reference letters, because it's one thing for you to say who you are and what you've learned from this experience and how you've grown, but it's quite another to get a group of people who know you best and have those people advocate on your behalf. And that's why you want to start a campaign for character reference letters. And it's not as easy as you would think to get people to write letters for you. So this course will give you a lot of resources in helping you understand the role of a character reference letter in sentencing. It'll help you plan for your campaign. It'll provide you with guidance that you might share with your prospective support group. It'll show you how to organize the letters, how to deliver the message, and start using the letters in a significant way to help you through the journey, including building your profile, which I really encourage you to do on prison professors, because it should be part of your comprehensive mitigation strategy. So I would highly, and of course, this lesson includes many sample letters that you could use from different groups. You could just download them. If you just click one of the downloaded PDFs, you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like. But I would highly recommend, after you finish the sentencing narrative course, you go through the next phase, which is going to be the course on character reference campaigns. And then I would recommend that you go to another course in sequence I'm suggesting, and that would be preparing for the pre-sentence investigation. So you just click that button, and this is another rather comprehensive course filled with all kinds of information that will help you, such as what the PSR is and why it matters, understanding how your status is changing when you go from a presumption of innocence to becoming a person who is convicted, and that's the status change when you become when you plead guilty or a jury convicts you, and you need to know how things change. So who relies on the PSR? You're going to want to learn about that, because the more you know, the more effective you're going to be at building a mitigation strategy. Then what happens when people are unprepared, and the myth that the lawyer has everything covered? Don't fall into that myth. You have to be the CEO of your life, and you have to prepare so that you know you've done everything within your power to self-advocate and put yourself on a pathway for a better outcome. You want the PSR, you want to understand how the PSR investigation works. You want to understand the probation officer's role and how the probation officer is going to define success. You're going to want to understand when to speak and when to be careful. You're going to want to engineer a PSR-ready mitigation strategy long before you meet with the probation officer. You're going to want to prepare your personal narrative before the pre-sentence investigation review if possible. If not, you want to make sure that you're getting it before the appropriate people at the appropriate time. You want to prepare your family and understand the anatomy of a PSR and really just understand how it all works together. And so we have quite a few lessons. It looks like there's 19 lessons in that course. Now, if you go back to our programs, you will see many other lessons there that can help you as you engineer a mitigation strategy. And my recommendation, because your liberty is on the line, you are going to want to go through every one of those lessons. You are going to want to be really taking this seriously, because you cannot underestimate the importance of your liberty. Your health is important. Your liberty is important. You can never get that time back. And it's something I know a great deal about, because I didn't go through this kind of preparation at the start of my journey. And as a result, I made a series of really bad decisions that resulted in me getting a 26-year sentence. But everything at Prison Professors is free. I just really would encourage you to work through the courses, apply yourself. There's a section in every course for you to ask questions. We even have an artificial intelligence bot at the bottom of the website. If you just see the little pulsing icon in the lower right, and now I'm talking about a desktop website, but if you see the little pulsing desktop, you could just go into that section and ask questions. Everything is self-directed. So we really want you to be thinking today about the complications that await your future, and use Prison Professors as a resource. Again, everything is free. My name is Michael Santos. I am the founder of prisonprofessors.org. I served 9,500 days in prison. So everything I offer is offered through lived experience. But I believe the more you prepare for the journey ahead, the more effective you are going to be at interacting with your defense attorney and interacting to influence a positive PSR, at interacting with the people you meet in prison, and building a comprehensive mitigation strategy that can help you get the highest level of liberty at the soonest possible time. We offer a lot of books, a lot of lessons, a lot of courses. Again, everything is free. And I really think that anybody who is facing a criminal charge or any kind of charge that could influence your liberty, even if it's a DUI course, a DUI problem, you should learn everything you possibly can and begin engineering a mitigation strategy that can help you get the highest level of liberty at the soonest possible time. I'm Michael Santos, and I believe in you. Thanks for being a member of our community.